What's the deal, baby? I know it is the big boss. How boss out K-Po through the door to talk this box. What's good with y'all, man? So, looks official, man. Spence made a video and a post on Instagram, basically posting the flyer. It says Showtime and Premier Boxing Champions, and they got Spence and Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford posted the same thing. Spence made a video, basically announcing the venue, the location, and who his opponent is, and he said Terence Crawford. And he said, don't be shocked if it's one-sided, which is something I said a long time ago. I said it over a year ago, you know what I'm saying, in one of my videos. You don't believe me? Go back and watch it. Terence Crawford basically did the same thing, basically echoed the same thing Spence said. The only thing he basically said is, he gonna whoop Spence. He said something about fillet a fish or cook a fish or something like that. So the fight is here. Now, y'all know me, I'm a man of my word. You know what I'm saying? I don't run for nothing. I don't run for no smoke. I told y'all if Terence Crawford signed a contract, I'll make a video saying I was wrong. And I was wrong. I didn't think Terence Crawford would sign that contract because I don't believe that Terence Crawford cares about his legacy. And like I said, I only went off of what he was saying and his actions. You know what I mean? That's why I said what I said. You know what I'm saying? He still can finagle his way out of this fight. But I'm not even going to think like that. You know what I mean? Contract is signed. They got flyers up, everything. I think Terence Crawford is a stand-up guy. He is a stand-up dude. So, I think that, he ain't going to do that. He really coming to win. So, let's just see how this thing pan out. But, I'm excited. I might even go to the fight. I ain't going to lie to you. The issue is it's on my wedding anniversary. So, I don't know. That's I had to talk to the wife. But it's the fight I've been waiting for. You know what I mean? Spence versus Terence Crawford. I done made many videos talking about this fight. We finally get to, see who the true king is. You know what I'm saying? We all done talk so much trash to each other for months, for a year. You know what I mean? We done talk so much trash. People done made threats about fighting people and all type of stuff. Well, now it's really time to settle the score. You know what I mean? This is the time where, all the trash talk stops. This is where it goes, this is where it ends at. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, if Terence Crawford is successful, like I said, just like I just made this video basically saying I was wrong, I'll make another video giving Terence Crawford 100% credit. You know what I mean? I never thought Terence Crawford was a bad fighter. Nobody never said anything about Terence Crawford the fighter. We just questioned his resume and we just questioned how he was moving. That was it. You know what I mean? And that's at welterweight. I'm not talking about 140, 135. I'm talking about 147 pounds. So that's it. You know what I mean? The only thing I question is with Terence Crawford is, can he be victorious against Spence? He has the skill set, he has the skills, but he has not put them on display against a top-level opponent. You know what I mean? So we'll be able to see, if he's able to do that against Spence. I see some people kind of making excuses about Spence, saying Spence, he got a car wreck and, an eye injury, so he's not in his prime. I don't want nobody trying to take no credit away from nobody. That's one thing we not going to do on boxing. You know what I'm saying? We're not finna sit here and discredit any fighter. If Terence Crawford beat Spence, he beat a prime Spence. If Spence beat Terence Crawford, he beat a prime Terence Crawford. We're not finna sit here and take credit away from no fighter. I don't want nobody making no excuses about nothing. Because me, I don't make excuses. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in that. Even to my kids, I don't believe in excuses. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. We own it, we stand on it, and we keep it moving. That's just what it is. So I don't want to hear any excuses towards anybody. You know what I'm saying? Nah. My fight breakdown. I got to incorporate that in there. I've had many different viewpoints on this fight. Okay? I've made many different videos about how this fight is going to go. This is my final breakdown. of this fight. Final with the fight prediction. This is the final one, right? You got Errol Spence, who has 3 belts, who's fought the names that he's fought, did the heavier lifting at 147 pounds, right? An active fighter, Mr. Fundamental himself, Errol Spence Jr., the Tim Duncan of boxing, right? People talk about Errol Spence don't have good feet and all that. Errol Spence has great feet, actually. You know what I mean? He just ain't had to really put it on display. We saw it a little bit against Mikey. You saw a little bit against Sean Porter. His feet work in the first couple rounds. Errol Spence was boxing Sean Porter the first 3 rounds. You know what I mean? Then, I guess he remembered, oh, I said I was going to stand in front of this boy. So he started standing in front of Sean Porter and trading and just shelling up and, you know, and returning. You know what I'm saying? You got Errol Spence, who a lot of his combinations, a lot of his punches is off the jab, right? He places his shots, right? A guy who's heavy-handed, who has power, not one-punch knockout power, but has thudding power. A guy who does have athleticism, but he doesn't really use it that much. He's a more technical fighter. His style is more technical. It's more technique, fundamentals, and things like that. Master the basics. What I think Errol Spence is going to do is he's going to come out on Terence Crawford early. He's going to start fast because, you know, Terence Crawford starts slow. I think Errol going to apply pressure and see how Terence Crawford adjusts to that. Right? He going to see how Terence Crawford deal with that. I think Errol going to come out early, off the jab, body work, trying to cut the ring off, keeping Terence Crawford back on the ropes. You know what I mean? And he just going to wear Terence Crawford down. I think as the rounds go on, Errol Spence, his motor is going to keep going. And if Terence Crawford don't have nothing to hurt Errol Spence, I'm sorry, it's finna be... If it go 12, it's going to be a long night for Terence. I predict Errol Spence will stop Terence Crawford in round 10. Mercy stoppage. Bo Mac throws in the towel. I think Errol Spence is just going to weigh on Terence Crawford. That's my prediction. I believe styles make fights. I think Errol Spence's work rate is too much for Terence Crawford to handle. A lot of people are saying, oh, look what Terence Crawford did to Sean Porter. Errol Spence is not Sean Porter. Right? They don't even fight the same. So you can't use Sean Porter's style. Sean Porter does not work behind his punches. Sean Porter throws punches and then like mauls you and do like rough you up with his body and things like that. Errol Spence works behind his punches. He's he's stepping behind his punches, getting inside, breaking you down, things like that, rolling, slipping on the inside, catching and shooting punches. He doing things like that. Sean Porter is not doing that. Sean Porter throw a punch and then he gonna rough you up, cut the ring off. He gonna bump into you. He gonna grab you. He gonna grab your arm. He gonna do like little veteran stuff to you. That's what Sean Porter do. Errol Spence is throwing punches, placing his shots. You know what I mean? Throwing up jabs, stiff jabs, flick jabs. Errol Spence gonna be throwing so many jabs. I think this fight, you might see Errol Spence probably throw more punches than he's thrown in any of his fights. You heard what Errol said to ES News when they was talking about Shakur. You know, Frank Martin. He was like, hey, man, you know, when that pressure get on him, how he gonna deal with it? And that's what I think Errol Spence is going to do. Smart, calculated pressure off the jab. He going to systematically and physically break Terence Crawford down. That's what I see. And I see a stoppage in round 10. Now, Terence Crawford, the way for him, if he's able to hurt Errol, it's going to have to be early. Right? I made a video saying that, oh, the only way Terence Crawford beats Errol Spence is by outboxing him. Right? And I really examined that, right? And like I said, I made many videos saying that. I have rescinded that. The only way Terence Crawford beat Spence is by a knockout. And it got to be early. That's the only way he beat Errol. If he's able to land a shot and hurt Spence early, I can see Terence Crawford winning. But it's going to have to be early. If it's late, I'm telling you right now, Spence, he don't want this to go 12 or go past a certain amount of rounds. Because that's going to favor Errol. So what Terence got to do is get Errol early. If he's able to get Errol early, you know what I mean? You got Terence Crawford, who's athletic, can switch, you know, good counter puncher. But he like to fight. He's there in front of you. He want to fight. That's Terence Crawford. He ain't running for no smoke. Like I said, very high IQ, very high skill set. You know what I mean? Some people say he's the better boxer. So we'll see. But I feel like, truthfully, and this is like my final breakdown, I'm not doing another one after this. You know what I mean? Everything after this is going to be promotion of the fight. Because I'm pretty sure they're going to have all access. The only way Terence Crawford beat Spence is by knockout. If it go 12, I don't see Terence Crawford getting his hand raised. That's just my opinion. If it go 12, I see Spence beating him by unanimous decision or as a stoppage. That's it. Now, like I said, I made videos, you know, but I went back and watched Terence Crawford fight. Like, I went back and watched him against Mean Machine. I went back and watched him against even Sean Porter and even Kell Brook. You know, those fights where he kind of showed, I watched those fights. You know what I mean? And how he faced a little adversity in them fights. I watched the fights at welterweight where he had a little adversity, right? Which was the Mean Machine fight, Sean Porter fight, even the Kell Brook fight. Those are the fights where I felt like he had a little adversity, where he kind of had to, you know, where it wasn't a landslide. You know what I mean? Like, he had to really adjust his approach. I said, okay, I see. He's not going to be able to outbox Spence for 12 rounds. He ain't going to be able to do that. He don't have the legs, right? Terence Crawford don't have the legs for that. You know what I mean? And it's kind of a long video because I'm kind of addressing everything. You know what I mean? But I'll probably make a separate video talking about Terence Crawford. But he don't have the legs. You know what I mean? So I think if he going to get Errol, it's going to have to be early. That's it. If he can't hurt Spence, it's going to be a long night, like I said. But I'm picking Spence. I feel like his style going to pose a problem for Terence Crawford. And but like I said, July 29th, we'll see who the victor is. Is Terence Crawford going to basically show the world that he really him? Or is Spence, you know, going to continue to level up? Y'all let me know what y'all think. Bye, gone.